You know, Pontiac has a long and proud history as an innovator, a company dedicated to producing performance cars, driver's cars. In 1988, we'd like to refocus on just one of those cars, the Fiero. 4 years ago, Fiero burst on the scene as something unique, a personal vehicle of stunningly sporty design with a price to attract the entry-level buyer. We promised continuous improvement in Fiero, and we've made good on it every year. The 1985 Fiero offered the high performance of the V6 to match its look. In 1986, the Fiero GT Fastback featured more refined sports car styling for upscale young buyers. Fiero's powertrain refinements continued in 1987 with inclusion of the German-built GM Getrag 5-speed manual transmission, enhancing the performance of the V6. Our promise of continuous improvement is still alive and well. The 1988 Fiero, with a host of new features, can attract a much larger segment of Pontiac's prime target buyers than ever before. And that's why we've made it the subject of Pontiac's Video Magazine's first Inside Track report.
There's plenty that's new to talk about on the 1988 Fiero. Pontiac has taken a good car and made it even better.
Pontiac had to make Fiero better. 4 years ago, it was a trendsetter. But today's Fiero is up against several tough competitors.
It's competing against Honda CRX, Toyota MR2, Nissan Pulsar NX, and the Mazda RX-7, just to name some of the main contenders.
The 1988 Fiero is up to the challenge, and in a few moments we'll prove it. We'll take you to one of the nation's top volume Fiero dealerships. There you'll see just how powerful a seller this vehicle can be when it's ordered and marketed properly.
Now, before we do, an update on Fiero features and facts for '88. The Fiero car line has been organized into 3 nameplates, each with a specific product character.
The Fiero Coupe attracts young buyers with exciting styling and a low price.
For the sports car enthusiast with an eye for value, the new Formula option package for the Fiero Coupe brings GT performance within reach. The new package includes the 2.8-liter V6 engine and GM Getrag 5-speed manual transmission as standard equipment. In addition, there's the new high-performance WS6 suspension package, black diamond spoke wheels, 15-inch Goodyear Eagle GT tires, and a rear spoiler.
The GT makes the most exclusive styling statement. Setting it apart are the new monotone paint treatment, the enhanced fastback profile, a dynamic aero package, and the 15-inch diamond spoke wheels in gold or black.
The 1988 Fiero Formula and GT models share as standard equipment a major engineering change, one that's also available as an option for the Coupe. It's a completely new independent front and rear suspension system designed to enhance ride and handling. The Fiero's new suspension is designed for a firm but not a harsh ride, and to give the driver a feel of the road, a sense of control at all times. It includes special shock absorbers and springs, a 22-millimeter rear stabilizer bar, and much more, including high-performance Goodyear Eagle GT tires.
And there's a key engineering change in Fiero's 2.5-liter 4-cylinder engine. Counter-rotating balance shafts have been added to soften engine vibration and provide smoother performance. Finally, all Fiero models offer some appearance changes too. New seat trims now dress up the interior, and on the exterior, 2 more colors have been added, white and yellow.
Our next segment will give you the inside track on how one dealership is one of the most successful Fiero sellers in the country.
Now recently, our crew visited Ocean Pontiac to report on its strategy for success. The dealership is in Danvers, Massachusetts, a suburb 25 miles northeast of Boston.
Good. Lots of Fieros, lots of Trans Ams, lots of Sunbirds at $79.95.
That's the spot heard around New England by a huge number of young Fiero target buyers. Ocean Pontiac gets the word out about Fiero exclusively over a few top rock music stations. The results are impressive.
I do have relatives in this area, but I also heard the advertisements, and the service here so far I've gotten is very good, and I'm glad I came.
Ocean's Fiero market strategy began a year ago. It has resulted in a Fiero sales rate averaging an impressive 60 to 80 units monthly. That at a dealership where a sales staff of 6, backed by a separate delivery department, sells some 2,500 Pontiacs a year. The Fiero strategy is the work of these two men, John Petrulis Sr., Ocean Pontiac president for 34 years, and his son, John Jr.
We feel that if it's marketed the way we do, as a fun, very sporty, but especially an image enhancer, the people that we target this at, the younger set, will flock to our doors seriously and buy this car. Our prospect is anywhere from 18 to 30 years old. And these are the people that we're asking to come in via our commercials, which are 90% radio. And that individual is immediately satisfied that Fiero is equal to, or more than he or she expects, as a true value. And if you get involved in it and go along with it the way Pontiac is recommending, you're going to sell Fieros. They weren't going to be able to build them.
At least 60% of its Fiero inventory is the simply equipped base model coupe, which fits the majority of buyers. Here's the nucleus of Ocean Pontiac's Fiero success throughout 1987. It's the coupe model, E37, ordered only with a standard 5-speed manual transmission, an FM stereo radio, and without air conditioning. It totals out to a very appealing and marketable $89.36.
If you want to do it properly, use the base price vehicle in a generous number depending upon the marketplace, as far as what your demographics are. And you'll have a situation where you can establish credibility. If you're advertising splash, you're advertising base price, you'll get full list for the car. But you have to show people you have more than 2 cars and then switch them up. No. Have a few automobiles that the people that in a few instances that can afford more will switch themselves up into that particular range. You'll find that it's easier. An individual, if they see something that's right in their affordability, there's no negotiating necessary. Our sales here happen very, very quickly. We don't pressure people.
I didn't feel pressured at all to buy anything or get any extra options at all. She knew what she was talking about. I had never dealt with a woman car salesman before, and she did. She was very knowledgeable.
One reason Ocean Pontiac knows its customers well is because it's constantly studying them. All buyers are asked to fill out a brief survey form asking what brought them to the dealership, what they do for a living, and what their work hours are. In almost all cases, Fiero shoppers stop in because of the radio ads, stressing Fiero's racy styling and feel at a sensible price, with credit certain to be approved.
Our ads are directed at people who really don't understand what a first-time buyer is. They've had cars before. They have a good job. They work and support themselves. Our ads are directed to talk with them, not really at them. The only type of things we require are the GMAC requirements. Of course, a valid driver's license, proof of their work, and of course, proof of their residence. The Fiero for us it's a tremendous appeal for the young buyer. It's a sporty car, it's a good-looking car, and most important, the way we ordered it's affordable. With just an AM/FM stereo in it, that's all the buyer really needs. They have a good-looking car that they can take to the beach, and it has a good radio.
The Petrulises say there's nothing special about their market area that accounts for their success with Fiero. They believe Pontiac dealers across the country can enjoy the same results. And Pontiac Marketing Director Jim Murray agrees with that opinion.
The Ocean Pontiac story about selling Fieros contains tips every Pontiac dealer can apply. But those tips aren't quite the whole story. Fiero is critically important as the image leader that can attract young buyers who can become lifelong Pontiac customers. Fiero also attracts the greatest number of under 35-year-old Pontiac buyers compared to Pontiac products overall. The same is true with first-time buyers. On the average, Fiero turns on more young buyers than any other Pontiac car line. And Fiero is a big hit with women. Some 49% of all Fiero sales are made to women buyers. That compares to an average 43% among all other Pontiac products. We looked at successful Fiero dealerships around the country and came up with the following market suggestions. Develop a year-long plan that coordinates vehicle orders, advertising, and promotion. Focus your attention on young buyers from 18 to 35 years old. Get to know them better. Direct your ad message to this group. One thing they have in common is they all listen to music on the radio. Keep your ads dignified, businesslike, and to the point, emphasizing Fiero styling and value. Make it as easy as possible for first-time buyers to get credit. Take advantage of buyer incentives and special financing programs to help them out. To sell a lot of Fieros, it's critical to order a heavy supply of low-end value leaders. Keep the colors simple. The base Fiero coupe equipped with 5-speed manual transmission and AM/FM stereo is the Pontiac most entry-level buyers want most often. Remember too, once they're convinced, young buyers want to buy immediately. So keep a sufficient supply of Fieros with formula option packages and GT models. That way it's never necessary to sell down. Pontiac believes that the 1988 Fiero is capable of significant market share growth. And as you'll hear now, we're taking action to help you fully tap the car's sales possibilities.
Some of you have already had exposure to Pontiac's market emphasis on the 1988 Fiero. This month's CPS meetings will include Fiero ride and drive sessions with the chance to try out the new suspension system. Also important, local news media representatives are being invited to special ride and drive sessions. They'll be seeing, driving, and reporting about the new Fiero. Beyond CPS meetings, Pontiac is planning several long-range strategies designed to stimulate sales throughout 1988. You'll see buyer incentive programs geared to the Fiero target buyers. Direct mail promotional advertising will be directed at prime Fiero customers. There'll be Fiero promotional activities on college campuses. And you can expect ongoing training from Pontiac on Fiero features and on how to sell them. Fiero is the kind of Pontiac that increasingly sells itself to many target buyers outside the showroom. Where exactly? Well, at dozens of thrilling motorsport events from coast to coast. February 1st, 1987. An AT&T Collins and Aikman Fiero, powered by a 4-cylinder engine, wins the grueling Daytona 24-hour road race. Then it happens again in June at the prestigious 24-hour Le Mans, France road race. A C2 class Fiero won its class and beat out many more powerful GTP cars to finish 6th overall. It's the first time an American car has done that since the 1960s. In major IMSA road race competition, Fiero has performed sensationally in every region of the country. As Fiero races into the 1988 model year, its image has been supercharged for the first time among young auto racing fans, many of whom will be showing up at your dealership in the next few months.
If you saw our first issue, we went to Ocean Pontiac, just outside Boston, to see how they marketed Fiero. Now let's consider Fiero the product, and one of its newest competitors, the Pulsar NX. The Pulsar XE competes head-to-head with the Fiero Coupe. So let's look at both of these base model cars. Styling is all important to the young buyers of this class. In front, both have the wedge-shaped aero look with pop-up halogen headlights and steeply raked windshield. But the Pulsar's styling can't hide what's underneath, a basic economy car. The XE is a conventional front-engine, front-wheel drive design wrapped in a steel body. Fiero's sporty mid-engine rear-wheel drive chassis is covered in rust-proof and Duraflex. Under the XE's hood is what Car and Driver calls an anemic 1.6-liter engine producing only 70 horsepower and 98 foot-pounds of torque. Fiero's enhanced Tech 4 with counter-rotating balance shafts makes almost 30 more horsepower and over 40 more foot-pounds of torque. Fiero